it's boring lying there, it's frustrating. And now you probably know that for mum and dad, they would like a bit of time on their own as well. Is that right?
Yeah.
Ideally, what would you want to happen? If this was 10 out of 10.
I'd be able to fall asleep in 5 minutes.
What would your ideal time be to fall asleep?
My body is used to falling asleep at about 9:30.
If you were in complete control, what time would you want it to go to sleep? Are you happy with that time, or do you want it a bit earlier, or what time?
If I could control it, then I'd go to bed at 9:15 and fall asleep by at least 9.
Oh, that sounds like heaven.
So mum says that would be heaven. Is that right?
How would that be heaven?
Well, that would be heaven. I think the world would all be as it should be if that happened, in balance.
For you, Theo, would it be heaven for you, or are you not too worried about it? What?
It would be good.
It would be good. Yeah. What impact would it have? Why would it be good? What would be the result?
I wouldn't be so tired.
Not be so tired. What else?
That's probably it.
Yeah. What about for mum and dad?
Yeah, that would be perfect. That would be great.
What do you think would be happening for them, Theo, if you were to go to bed at 9:15 and go to sleep by 9? How would it feel for mum and dad, do you think?
I honestly don't know.
Well, do you want to check in with mum? Find out what mum thinks. What would she feel?
Well, I said that it was important to me because mum and dad don't get a wee chat time before we go to bed. And if you went to bed at 9:15 and fell asleep by 9, we would be able to have a wee chat time and I'd know that you were happy. You said before that it was boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you went to bed at 8:45 and was asleep by 9, how would that be?
Well, it wouldn't be so boring.
Be less boring. Yeah.
And I mean, fall asleep at 9 at the latest.
So you wouldn't be so tired. You wouldn't be bored lying there in bed worrying about. And presumably, I'm just putting that word out there. Actually, do you worry when you're lying there awake?
No.
What's the word that would describe it? Is it just boring, or is it annoying, or
Frustrating.
Frustrating. Yeah. Okay.
Yesterday you were telling me that you moved the guitars because they were scary when they were sitting up.
Yeah.
And sometimes you think that's important to you where the dressing gown is and things like that.
Yeah.
Because that gets scary. So do those scary thoughts come about at those times when you're lying in bed and you can't sleep? When do they come around?
Yeah, and it's dark and the shadows.
When it's dark. So when you're lying there, if you fall asleep quickly, do those thoughts come up? Or is it just the times that you lie awake for a long time?
Lying awake for a while.
You've been lying awake for a while. It sounds like your mind and your brain sort of works overtime and starts to see things that are scary in the dark. Is that right? Yeah. And that's actually really common. Do you mind if I just share something with you that will maybe just help explain how common it is, actually? Do you know much about your amygdala? Have you heard that word before?
I think I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
No, I don't think I would have known what it was at your age, to be honest. I've just got this thing here. I'll just show it to you. Let's see if this helps make sense of what's happening for you.
Someone gave us a nice book once about their amygdala.
Oh yeah, that book.
That book? Yeah. So
yeah, we have that book.
Well, I know it's really simple pictures, but it's a really nice way of describing what happens with your brain. So sometimes your amygdala is there to protect you. It's kind of like your fight and flight part of your brain. It's there to keep you safe, basically. But sometimes if you're lying in bed or you're worried or maybe your brain is bored, then your amygdala can start to imagine things. It can start to imagine, well, for example, that would be like your guitar, wouldn't it? Being something scary, being a shadow in the dark. Is that right? Would it be similar, do you think? Or
yeah, like that.
It is a bit like that, is it, Theo?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's a bit like a smoke alarm, your brain sometimes. Sometimes it goes, oh, wow, that, I mean, I used to have it when I shut the curtains at night. I used to imagine there were faces in the windows. I'd have to quickly shut them really quickly and go, oh my gosh, and used to run out of the room quickly. And it was purely my amygdala overreacting, a bit like a smoke alarm going, wow, there's somebody scary out there. So sometimes our minds, when we're not busy thinking about something fun, or if you're lying in bed, bored, trying to go to sleep, it may be that your amygdala is working overtime and giving your brain the wrong message. So it is about being able to tell your brain, that's just a guitar. You're doing what happened to Lucy with the windows and the curtains. You're giving me the wrong message. So we need to find a way of just slowing your amygdala down at that time of night. Does that make sense to you, Theo?
Yeah.
So